Monsterland. Keep your mind under your bed. Monsterland.
Welcome to Monster Man. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Oompa, oompa.
Doopity-doo.
We represent the
Lollipop Kingdom. You know what? I used that voice. My kids had a friend who looked like one of them. And whenever they talk about it, I go, "Oh, you're gonna go out with her today?" Nobody hangs out with me.
All right. People usually come to us for recommendations on what's good. Is that an all work and no play make Jack a dull boy hat?
It sure is.
Shoot, I gotta get me one of them.
I got this at Hudson Horror Show, which will be coming to a theater near you someday soon.
Nice. Anyway, people come to us for recommendations, and we have got 2 shows on Netflix that people need to watch. Let's start with, and you may introduce this one, even though we both saw and loved it.
Let's talk about the Santa Clarita Diet there, Jack.
Okay, then. So I saw ads for this. I posted on our Facebook page before it ever came out, previews of it. And I was like, this looks okay. I love Timothy Olyphant. It looks interesting, whatever. And I watched it, and I mean, after episode 1, I'm like, oh my god, this is so much better than I expected it to be.
You at least knew what you were watching. I turned on Netflix, and we're just going around, and I'm going, oh my god, look at this stupid thing, Santa Clarita Diet. I'm like, what is this show about food? And so I saw Timothy Olyphant was in it, so I said to my wife, you want to watch this? And she loves Drew Barrymore for whatever reason. And so we turned it on, and within 15 minutes, I'm like, all right, this is my new favorite show right now. And then we devoured that show. Because we had no idea it was a freaking zombie comedy show. So, worst name, one of the worst names, top 10 worst names of all time for a television show or movie. Because it gives you nothing. But one of the best shows on Netflix right now.
Oh, it's so freaking good. And I kept waiting for it to, like, lose steam. And instead, It gets better every episode.
It gets better as Timothy Olyphant gets more and more manic and disheveled looking. Because he loses his mind in this show. He loses his mind.
Is freaking hilarious.
Who knew he could be that funny?
He was witty on Justified.
Right.
He's flat out hilarious in this.
This is slapstick. Like, if you're a Raylan Gibbons fan like we are, where, you know, packing heat and taking out bad guys, this is just some super skinny, dorky suburban dude who cannot handle what the hell's going on with his wife. It's so good.
So, the kid who plays the neighbor's son, who's really funny.
He's from Vacation, the remake with Ed Helms and Christina.
Okay, so that's not where I recognized him from. It was driving me crazy. I'm like, I know this kid. He's really funny. What is he from? And my nephew nailed it. He goes, he was one of the young Shawns on Psych.
Oh, I see. I've never seen Psych. So.
Oh my god, Psych is so great. You got to see Psych.
He's great in this. And he's playing the same character that he was in Vacation.
Well, he crushes it.
Kind of a dork.
Uh-huh. And then there's like smaller characters like the waitress from It's Always
Sunny. Charlie Day's wife.
She's awesome. Nathan Fillion.
He was great. I was hoping he'd last longer, but all right, I'll take what I could get.
And Drew Barrymore, who I'm hit or miss on her. Some stuff I like her, and some stuff she annoys me in.
Mm-hmm.
She crushes it.
See, this is where we differ, because my wife and we absolutely love the show, and we said we love it despite the fact that we think she was terrible. There were so many actresses we could have seen in that part, and she was just, I don't know.
You know what it was? She committed. That's what I think I liked. I think there could have been better actresses for it. But
yeah.
I appreciated the efforts that she gave, but I didn't. I thought I was going to... When I saw she was a star of it, I was like, eh. Right. I guess I felt like I didn't love her, but I she did better than I thought. And
she was uneven. Like some episodes, it depended on what they gave her to do. Because some episodes I thought she was pretty good. Some episodes I was like, she is just totally floundering in this right now. But it didn't matter because it's about her, but it's not about her. You know, it's about the wreckage around the family trying to keep the secret that mom's a zombie.
Oh, and Officer Dangle from Reno 911.
Yeah, no, it's a superb. Everyone around them is just great. I love the girl who plays the daughter. She looks like a regular kid too, and she sounds more grown up than she is, and there's a vulnerability to her and an edge, and I thought she was great. I thought everybody was great around Drew Barrymore. It's like Seinfeld. He surrounded himself with all these great people, and then you don't notice that Jerry sucks.
They also did a great job as far as the binge watching show goes. Every episode ended with something that made you want to watch the next one immediately.
Yep. And it was a half an hour. Perfect. Because we did it in 2 days.
Yeah, I tried to stretch it out for a few days. I was like, I think I went on like a 2 or 3 show max per day. I was like, I can't, to try and make it last longer.
And that's usually what we do, but we could not stop ourselves.
These other, I'm telling you, short run shows are the way to go. These freaking 22 episode things are ridiculous. There's a show on Amazon called Sneaky Pete. It's awesome. Like 10 episodes.
Yeah. Some of my favorites, Scrotal Recall, which is a comedy, which they changed the name to Lovesick. 6 episodes, a British show, half an hour, about some dude who finds out he's got gonorrhea and he's getting in touch with all his ex-girlfriends. Cool show.
Did you watch Love?
I loved Love.
It's really good.
Because it had the girl from...
Jillian Jacobs, I think her name is.
Yeah, she was so good. She was so skeevy at times in that, too. That's coming back.
Oh, good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So there's another show that I don't think you've seen on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done with Santa Clarita? You got anything else to say about it?
Well, I gave up watching The Walking Dead. I watched the first episode of this season in October, and I was like, okay, I don't care. So we haven't watched anything since. And sorry, Vent, I know you're doing the Walking Dead post-game show and everything, but I just haven't been watching it. So maybe we'll binge watch it, but this was the perfect replacement for it.
I was listening to somebody on a podcast, and The Walking Dead came up. And one guy was saying how a lot of people he knows bailed after last season, or after the first episode, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then another guy goes, I was going to bail on this show, but I've just been in it for so long that I'm just there to the end. And I go, that's me. I watch it.
Right.
And it's not like Game of Thrones. I'm like, I got to see the next one. I'm just like, I watch The Walking Dead. It happens, and I go on with my life. Then I watch the next one. But
See, what made me bail is they have that powerful first episode, and I didn't care. And if I no longer have any connection to these characters, I don't care whether they live or die. I'm like, well, there's no point in watching. That's why I love Bates Motel so much, because, first of all, the acting of that is some of the best on TV. But it's finite. 5 seasons.
Yes.
There's 7 episodes left to go, and it is over.
Which you just reminded me, I have this week's recorded. After we're done, I'm going to go watch it.
Oh, it was so good.
The other thing, there was, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd season, there was a stretch where I was like, I'm growing tired of this show.
Right.
And then I forget what the hell happened, and it sucked me back.
It got a little soap opera-y, but I loved it. Because it's those performances. And I think everybody they hire for that show has to have a certain set of eyes. They all have stunning eyeballs. It's bizarre. But this last season, we were just talking about how in the first season, you kind of feel bad for Norman because he's this geeky little teen. He's got definitely a little, maybe a screw half loose. Now he's just bat crap nuts. He's a bat crap nutty 22-year-old. It's really good. But that's the thing. They're not going to stretch it out to the point where in season 7 or 8, I'm going, well, when is this ending? You know?
And I love the fact that they're kind of doing Psycho, but they're doing it in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they're adding notes of the movie and notes of the books, and sprinkled all throughout it, but doing it in their own twist too. Just that show's great.
Yeah.
And I hope Santa Clarita gets a few seasons in, but I hope it doesn't wear out its welcome. I hope they never do a show where they talk about it and break it down, and there's a million podcasts. I think maybe there are lessons to be learned when everything the post Walking Dead era comes in. I hope people pay attention.
Well, I'll say this. I know that when I bring up this guy's name, you're going to crap on him, but
Chris Hardwick
does the Talking Dead. And when he does that show, he's got to be a company man. And even in the worst episodes, he's got to put on a smile.
Yeah.
But I respect his talent, because if you watch At Midnight, you see the real him, and he's really funny. And
he was a comedian.
And he's got comedians on the show. And I know that a lot of stuff is pre-written and stuff like that, but he's sharp. So you watch that, and you're like, all right, this guy's making a ton of money. He's got an empire now.
Yeah.
Everything like that. And if you or me were asked to host The Talking Dead, we'd do the same exact thing he's doing.
Oh, exactly.
But there are just times where I'm like, I don't know. So there's another podcast. The Vent Man is the best Walking Dead recap show. There's another one that the Screen Junkies guys do. It's called Knocking Dead.
Right. Oh, they just tear it down?
Yeah, like they'll just be like, what the hell is this stupid?
Hey, whenever I look at Chris Hardwick, I just think House of a Thousand Corpses. He was in House of a Thousand Corpses with Dwight Schrute.
So Santa Clarita, we both give it thumbs up. Probably, you said this on Twitter, best zombie show on TV right now.
Hands down.
There's another show. It's called Crazyhead. It's on Netflix.
Oh, it's not a movie?
No, it's like a 10-episode show.
Oh, okay.
It is kind of a modern Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it's kind of a BBC kind of show.
Uh-huh.
It is awesome.
Really?
It is great. It's just as good as Santa Clarita, if not better.
Are they hour-long, half-hour?
I feel like they're like a half hour to 45 minutes.
Perfect.
Somewhere it's somewhere under an hour.
And it's British.
It's British. It's not like HBO graphic, but it's more like the jokes are a little racier. The subject matter's a little. They'll talk about banging and stuff like that. So it's a level up. If Buffy was PG, this is PG-13.
Right.
There's not like explicit sex or anything like that, but they talk about it a little bit more. But it's essentially there are two girls that are sort of in a Buffy type role, and there are demons all around England that they can see but other people can't.
Right.
Who are plotting.
This sounds good.
And it's, again, to go back to what I said in our episode with Get Out, it's the proper balance, and this is what Buffy did so well, proper balance of serious and funny.
Right.
So it takes it just seriously enough that you're into it, and it's funny enough that you really, you laugh every episode, and you let crap roll.
And we're old guys, so if they can bring back that Buffy spark for you, because I remember coming into the bedroom. For some reason, my wife had like a ladies' night with her and her sister and her mother, and they would come over and do quilting or whatever, and talk and whatever. And that was always when Buffy was on. I'd just be huddled in my bedroom watching Buffy and loving it. I couldn't wait till they came over. When the bell rang, I'm like, oh, I get to go in and watch Buffy now. So that's cool if you can recapture that little bit of magic. I'm in.
I'm telling you, you're going to love it. So I can't wait for you to watch it and tell me what you think.
You know, this is... I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, lupus is a terrible thing to have. If you have lupus, get rid of it. Cure yourself. But my wife has lupus, and there's a flare-up. And when there's a flare-up, you're down and out for like weeks to a few months. So she's got a flare-up. This will be perfect to watch. This is custom-made for a lupus flare-up. A cool show to watch while you're laid up. And you can blow through a series and just have a good time.
Do you have Amazon?
I do.
Sneaky Pete's not horror, but good show.
On Amazon, the non-horror show that I watched was the oh my god, F. Scott Zelda Z.
Oh,
with
is that
Christina
Christina
Ricci?
Ricci?
Yeah,
I love her, so why would I not watch that?
she's really, really good. And she can be really terrible in some things. But I liked her in Lizzie Borden. She's on this track of like playing these larger than life kind of characters. But I thought Z was awesome. If you love Hemingway and Fitzgerald and that whole era, it'll be, even though the guy who plays F. Scott Fitzgerald is just dreadful, he's not in it all that much. So that was cool. And half an hour. That's a drama that they were doing in half an hour. So I watched that in hotel rooms as we were traveling across the country. Gave me something to look forward to. So Crazyhead, Netflix, British series, 10 episodes.
Something like that. It's 10 episodes or so.
All right. I'll be
That's
watching.
all I got for you. Santa Clarita Diet, Crazyhead.
Look, if we can just get you to watch the Santa Clarita Diet, we have done our job, because you are going to thank us. And then when you're done with Santa Clarita Diet, go watch Justified, which I think Amazon has it. And then, if you like Timothy Olyphant being insane and manic, if you're a Justified fan and you like watching him in that role, Natalie Z, who played his ex-wife in Justified, is equally insane on a show on TBS called The Detour, which to me is my favorite comedy.
I just started watching that this year. I never heard of it. This is like the second season, isn't it?
The first year, I think it was on FX, and now TBS took it.
So I just discovered it. I just programmed it. I agree with you. I love it. It's hilarious. And I had a crush on her in Justified. And I just watched this and I was just like, she is just hilarious and stunning.
She's sexy as hell.
Yeah.
You know what my wife said? That she looks like Blake Lively. Like her and Blake Lively could be sisters. They have the same kind of face. Except Natalie Z is actually prettier and older. Did you see the episode last week with them helping that woman give birth in the apartment?
Yes.
Guys, watch The Detour. If you only ever watch one episode, see season 2. You really don't even need any context for it. It's kind of its standalone. It's the dirtiest thing I've ever seen.
There's a lot of parallels to that and the Santa Clarita Diet, because the
Yeah.
son is hilarious, kind of like the kid in Santa Clarita. And
Yeah.
the husband, the guy from The Daily Show,
Yeah.
he is awesome.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
is the
funny
creator.
guy.
Him and Samantha Bee. It's just an awesome show. So check that out. See, that's a non-horror thing. Although the season 2, episode 2 was total horror.
Yeah.
When he fell in that pool.
Well, when he went to the dance club in the...
Oh, that's the first episode. But then the scene when the woman gave birth and then she's just laying there and the placenta comes out like a stingray. That's true horror. That's horror, ladies and gentlemen.
the pizza.
Check that out. We've given you, now you have plenty to watch. Good Lord.
We covered a lot of TV shows in this, even though we only plan on talking about 2. So.
We give you Netflix, Amazon, regular TV. Go for it. That's what we're here for.
Yep.
We waste our lives so you don't have to
Exactly.
waste yours. I can't even get my words out. Dentures.
All right. Good show.
Yep, let's go to the Waffle House. I wish there was a Waffle House around here.
Okay. All right, everybody. Happy watching, and we'll see you next time on
Monster Man.